You wake up Monday morning. The alarm goes off at 6 a.m. You are not rested. You are not excited. You are not inspired. You are simply functional, like a machine that somebody else owns. You shower, you dress, you commute, you clock in, you perform, you clock out, you commute back, you eat something that barely qualifies as food, you collapse into bed, and then, the cruelest part, you do it all over again. For what? For a paycheck that disappears before you even have a chance to feel it in your hands. And the wild part? The absolutely unhinged part that nobody at your job will ever say out loud? You are not broke because you are lazy. You are not broke because you are stupid. You are not broke because you spend too much on coffee. You are broke because your salary was mathematically engineered to keep you exactly where you are. Tired enough to not ask questions, and just comfortable enough to not burn anything down. My name is Auntie Pearl. And today, sweetheart, we are going to talk about the most sophisticated poverty trap ever designed in human history. It does not look like a cage. It looks like a benefits package. It comes with 2 weeks of vacation and a direct deposit notification every other Friday. And millions of intelligent, hard-working people walk straight into it every single morning with their ID badges around their necks. I have the receipts. Now listen. If you came here looking for someone to pat you on the back and tell you that hustle culture is the answer, that you just need to wake up at 4 a.m. and manifest harder, baby, the door is right there. I will not be offended. Go find yourself a motivational guru with a rented Lamborghini. They will make you feel wonderful while your bank account cries quietly in the corner. But if you are ready, truly ready, to look at the numbers that your employer does not want you to calculate, to understand the system that profits from your exhaustion, and to walk away from this video with a plan that actually makes sense for a real human life, then stay. Pull up a chair. Auntie Pearl has been waiting for you. Let me explain something to you that they do not teach in school, because school was not designed to produce wealthy people. It was designed to produce reliable workers. There is a difference, and it is not an accident. The entire architecture of employment as we know it was built during the Industrial Revolution, a time when factory owners needed human beings to behave as predictably as machines. You show up. You perform a specific, repeatable task. You are compensated just enough to return tomorrow. That was the design. That was always the design. Now here is what they did not tell you. That design did not go away when the factories got replaced by office buildings and spreadsheets and Slack messages. It just got a new outfit. It got ping pong tables and casual Fridays and wellness stipends. It got stock options that vest in 4 years, which is a brilliant little trick to make you feel like an owner while functioning like a tenant. It got performance reviews that give you the illusion of agency, while someone 3 levels above you has already decided your ceiling. The system, and I need you to hear this clearly, love, the system is not broken. It is working exactly as intended. The question is, who is it working for? Because I promise you, it is not working for the person staring at their bank balance on the 27th of the month, wondering how they are going to make it to the 1st. Now let us get into the receipts, because Auntie Pearl does not make claims without evidence. I want you to think about your salary. Do not be shy. Whatever number you earn annually, I want you to hold it in your mind. Now I want to do some math with you. And I want you to stay with me because this arithmetic is going to change the way you see your entire working life. The average full-time employee in the United States earns approximately $59,000 per year before taxes. Let us use that number. After federal taxes, state taxes, Social Security, Medicare, and any health insurance premiums. Because your employer generously lets you pay for part of your own health care, you are taking home somewhere around $42,000 to $40,000 a year. Let us be generous and say $44,000. That is $3,760 per month. Now let us talk about what happens to that money before you even decide to spend a single dollar on something you actually enjoy. Rent or mortgage in a mid-sized American city, minimum $1,400 to $2,800. Let us say $1,600. Car payment, because public transit in most of this country is a polite joke, $450. Car insurance, $180. Gas to get to the job that pays you the money to pay for the car to get to the job, $200. Groceries for one person eating with any nutritional intentionality, $400. Utilities, electricity, water, internet, because you cannot function in the modern economy without internet, $250. Phone bill, $80. Student loans, because they sold you a degree as the price of admission to the middle class, $350. We are at 3,510 out of 3,767. You have $157 left. $157 for the entire month. For every unexpected expense, every social obligation, every medical copay, every moment of joy, every emergency, every dream. And here is where it gets truly beautiful in the most devastating way possible. Because the system anticipated this. The system knew you would have 150 samono, and it built an entire industry to come collect it. Credit cards with 24% interest rates marketed as financial freedom. Buy now, pay later apps designed to make you feel like you have money you do not have. Subscription services at $9.99 and $12.999 and $14.999 that individually feel like nothing but collectively eat what little is left. Lottery tickets sold in the neighborhoods with the least wealth and the most desperation. Payday loans dressed up as emergency solutions that charge you 400% annual interest on your own financial crisis. But let us go deeper. Let us talk about time, because money is only half the equation. The real currency of your life is not dollars. It is hours. And I want you to understand what your employer is actually buying from you. If you earn $59,000 a year and you work 40 hours a week, 50 weeks a year, that is 2,000 hours of your life. Your hourly rate on paper is $29.50. But is that the real number? No, sweetheart. That is not the real number at all. Add your commute. The average American commutes 27 minutes each way. That is nearly an hour a day, 5 days a week, 50 weeks a year. That is 208 hours of your life spent in transit. Hours you are not paid for. Hours you cannot get back. Hours you spend tired and stressed and listening to podcasts to feel productive about your own displacement. Add the time you spend decompressing from work. The hour or two every evening where you are technically home, but mentally you are still at your desk, still processing the meeting that went sideways, still answering emails you told yourself you would not answer after 7 p.m. conservatively. That is another 250 hours a year. Add the Sunday dread, that specific flavor of anxiety that begins around 4 p.m. on Sunday, when the weekend starts dying and Monday starts breathing down your neck. That is not free time. That is pre-labor stress. Your employer gets that too, and they do not pay a cent for it. When you add all of this up, the commute, the decompression, the mental occupancy that your job takes up in your head, even when you are not there, your real hourly rate drops to somewhere between $17 and $19. Not $29.50, $17. Now convert your rent into hours of life. Your $2,600 rent is 94 hours of your actual lived time. Your car payment is 26 hours. Your student loan payment is 20 hours. Every single bill on that list, every single expense, is hours of your finite, irreplaceable, one-time only life that you handed to someone else. And here is the number that should keep you up at night. You are working approximately 85% of your waking productive hours just to maintain your current position. Not to get ahead, not to build wealth, not to move forward, just to stay exactly where you are. That is not a career. That is a treadmill with a salary attached. Now let us talk about the beautiful lie that keeps this whole machine running. Because the system is not stupid. It knows that a person who clearly sees their cage will eventually try to leave it. So it does something extraordinarily clever. It sells you the cage as the dream. It tells you that you are lucky to have benefits. It tells you that loyalty will be rewarded. And then it lays off 15% of the workforce in a restructuring that the executives knew about for 6 months. It tells you to be a team player, which is corporate language for, please do not advocate for yourself. It gives you a Costco membership as a perk, because buying things in bulk is a wonderful substitute for actual financial security. And then, this is my favorite part, Corazon. It sells you self-care as the solution to the exhaustion it created. You are burned out because you are overworked and underpaid. The system's answer? Buy a $45 bath bomb. Download a meditation app for $12.99 a month. Book a spa weekend that costs you 3 months of savings and puts you right back where you started, just slightly more relaxed about it. They turned your suffering into a market. They diagnosed your exhaustion and sold you the cure. And the cure is always something you can purchase, which means you have to work more to afford the thing that is supposed to help you recover from working too much. It is a circle. It is designed to be a circle. And now you know. So what do you actually do? Because Auntie Pearl is not here to leave you in the rubble of a destroyed illusion without handing you something real to build with. These are not easy steps. I will not pretend they are. Anyone who tells you that financial liberation is simple is selling something. But they are honest steps, and they are possible, and they begin today. The first thing you are going to do is calculate your real hourly wage, not the number on your offer letter, the real number. Track every hour your job costs you. Commute, decompression time, the Sunday dread, the emails you answer at 9 p.m. Divide your actual take-home pay by that real number of hours. Write that number down somewhere you will see it. Because every time you are about to spend money, you need to see the actual life cost of that purchase. Not $80, 4.5 hours of your life. Does that thing still feel worth it? Sometimes the answer is yes. But at least it is an honest yes. The second thing you are going to do is audit your fixed expenses with aggression. Not your lattes. I am not interested in your lattes. I am interested in your $1,600 rent in a city where you could live 20 minutes further out and pay $200. I am interested in your car payment on a vehicle you bought to feel a certain way instead of to solve a transportation problem. I am interested in the 6 subscription services you forgot you had that are collectively costing you $89 a month. Fixed expenses are where real money lives, and they are hard to cut because they require actual life changes. Moving, negotiating, restructuring. Not just willpower at Starbucks. Do the hard thing, the third thing. And this is the one that will feel the most radical and is the most necessary. You are going to protect your rest like it is a financial asset. Because it is. I am not speaking metaphorically. Sleep deprivation impairs decision-making in ways that are clinically identical to being drunk. When you are chronically exhausted, you make worse financial decisions. You impulse buy. You are too tired to cook, so you order delivery. You are too depleted to negotiate, so you accept the first offer. You are too burned out to plan, so you react. Your rest is not a luxury. Your rest is the foundation of every good financial decision you will ever make. Protecting your sleep, your weekends, your non-working hours. That is not laziness. That is strategy. Here is what I want to leave you with, love. And I mean this from the oldest, most hard-working, most clear-eyed part of who I am. You were told that working hard was enough. You were told that if you just showed up, kept your head down, proved your value, the system would reward you. And you believed it, because why wouldn't you? It sounds reasonable. It sounds fair. But you have seen the math now. You have seen what the system actually pays you in real hours. You have seen how it spends your exhaustion and sells you the remedy. You cannot unsee it. And here is the thing about people who cannot unsee the truth. They start making different choices. Small ones at first, then bigger ones. They start asking different questions in performance reviews. They start calculating real costs before making purchases. They start treating their rest as non-negotiable instead of optional. They start talking to their colleagues about what everyone is actually making. They start building things on the side. They start leaving, slowly, deliberately, with a plan. The employed poor do not stay poor because they do not work hard enough. They stay poor because they are working hard inside a system that is designed to absorb that work and return as little as possible. Knowing that is not hopelessness. Knowing that is the beginning. You are not a machine. You are not a resource. You are a human being with a finite number of hours on this earth, and you deserve to spend more of them living than surviving. Auntie Pearl has spoken. If this video told you something that your employer never will, do me one favor. Subscribe to this channel because we are just getting started. And leave me a comment below. How much is your job actually costing you when you calculate the real hours? I want to see your math. Show me your receipts.